3-day weekend hangover. You guys ever get that? I didn't drink. It's just, you go through 3 days, on a 3-day vacation, and then, I still work. As you guys know, I threw up a few videos the last few days. But this particular instance, this one kind of like email that I came across earlier yesterday. Me and a gentleman have been going back and forth. He's been collecting coins for a few years, and he paid $1,400 for a collection of coins that he saw on a local ad site. I guess he saw it on Facebook or something like that and wanted to come take a look at it. I'll get into the details here, but now he's starting to regret the purchase. When it comes to these third-party kind of sales, you got to keep in mind there's no refunds, there's no, nothing of that sort, so you're stuck with what you got, and he felt like he didn't do enough research. So, in case you haven't figured out, welcome back to Uncle BlueRidge's Mailbag Hour. Actually, it's not going to take an hour, but you get the big picture. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. You guys know I'm doing giveaways this summer. I did a few giveaways already. Give away a few cool silver eagles. Just like that, man. You just have to watch the videos, and the giveaway is a flash. It can happen anywhere in the video. But the earlier you get on there and watch some of your boy BlueRidge's content, then you'll see it pop up. So anyways, let's get right into it here. Let me go ahead and open up this email. All right. So this is from George P. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to talk about what was going on here. So to recap, he had purchased 3 1/10 gold eagle. Okay, they're the fractional pieces, the small ones. On their own, they're about $110, $115 a piece, I believe. So he got a little gold out of the transaction. Here's where things really start to get kind of sour, and the moment that he listed all of the coins that he had purchased, it's just mind-boggling. And he also wanted me to talk about the listing as well, because I swear there are certain words and phrases in the coin collecting community that need to be banned, for crying out loud, for specifically this reason. So he got 3 of those 110-ounce gold. He got 21 1980s and 1990s proof sets. Those things are what? $5, $6, $7 a piece, if that. He purchased 2 rolls of 90% silver quarters. He called them a cull group, C-U-L-L. What that means is they have no numismatic value because they're beat up, scratched, in some cases bent. You see that all the time. A lot of that type of material got melted, years ago with the silver run-up. So, but there are still quite a few groups and batches out there that have that. So he got a couple rolls of that. He purchased some Littleton promotional products that there's he sent me a few pictures. He didn't send very many good pictures, but just an illustration. Littleton, anything you buy, as you guys know, you pay up for. They, with their patented coins on demand program. If you guys haven't done that, then and you are in the coin hobby, buyer beware, because the prices are high. So he got a few of those, but here's the kicker. Also in there is a BU mint bag of 1985 Lincoln pennies. Oh, and there were 6 BU rolls of 1990s Jefferson nickels. So all that for $1,400, and according to the Facebook listing, large rare, it's even in quotation marks, large rare group of coins, estate sale. If that doesn't shoot up red flags, I don't know what does. So let's talk a little bit about what we have here. See, the problem is with $1,400, okay, you have a couple different options to go. Okay, you could buy one really good coin, or you could buy a bunch of bulk stuff. It really depends on, how you approach the hobby. Are you more of a hoarder of certain things? Do you like to go through a lot of material, or are you truly kind of like an investor of sorts? Do you focus on like paying as much money as you can for the best possible coin, the oldest coin? The purist in me is, if I had $1,400, you could get a 1909 SVDB in really nice condition, graded, for at the most that, and then you could get some that are even cheaper, like what, XF condition coin. You could get something like that and still have money left over to take your wife out for dinner. So let's go ahead and address the white elephant in the room, and that's of course this 1985 Lincoln cent bag BU. He said he didn't know why he bought it. It just seemed like too good to be true, because you just don't see this that much anymore. That's true. You don't see full mint bags of 1985 Lincoln pennies for. According to the seller, he would have sold that individually for $500, and I think that's a bunch of crap. It's not the most popular date of Lincoln pennies, so for something like that to pop up, you would figure it's worth about $150 to $200, not $500. Okay. Second of all, there are no known varieties in 1985 Lincoln pennies that's worth a damn. So, the opportunity cost in this case is way too high for the perceived value proposition that goes into such an item. It would be a different story if it was, say, like a 1995 BU bag. Those have reached, some pretty unimaginable heights in the secondary market. And I would venture to guess that something like that today is still pretty expensive for the mere prospect that people can find the one of the more popular modern doubled die coins. But that's a case study all on its own, that it would, depending on what you can find in there, will determine the market value. It's too bad it wasn't a 1984 a memorial bag, a BU bag, because you have, of course, the doubled ear variety, which on its own, without grading, sells for between $200 to $300. So that's a huge problem. He did overpay by a huge margin, by about $150 there. The 20 or so proof sets, of course, we're talking about dates that occur during the kind of like the most saturated part of proof sets, and that's the 80s and 90s. The least desirable, however, all is not lost. There are a few things you can look for in here. The 1990 proof set, there's a couple cool, very nice double dies in there. The quarter is one example where you can find that coin. I advised him to check that. He hasn't gotten back to me. The 90% silver, it is what it is. I think for a full roll, it's like $100, $150, $155. It might be a little bit higher than that. The price of silver is so dang cheap, and it's stagnant. Nobody's into it yet until the market takes a turn for the worse. So it is a buying opportunity, but in this particular lot, because of the overall dilution of the amount of product that he received for the amount of money he spent, it seems not so much a great deal in the grand scheme of things. So there was that. The nickel rolls, figure those things out for face. There's really not a whole lot there. even with full steps on some of those 1990s coins, they're still very much, pretty common. So, those were a few things that I wanted to point out. Collectability wise, I think he even said that this is not a lot that he typically buys, because he buys like nicer stuff, but as in he spends more money on single coins rather than buying full lots. He thought that there was a potential for, some sort of flip, where he can make money. But he misread. He didn't even talk the guy down for $1,400. He actually paid all $1,400. Type F in the comment section to pay your respects, by the way. My condolences. Yeah, right. So what I wanted to talk about, because he made it a point, like the guy said, yeah, these coins are rare, 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 rare. All right, I feel like this is a word that should be banned in the coin marketplace and coin collecting in general. It's an overused, overbaked terminology. It gives a false sense of uniqueness and scarcity to something, that quite possibly there is probably more than that ever made. I think it was about a year ago, someone said, oh yeah, those 2009 Jefferson nickels, they're the rarest coins I've seen. I'm like, they're not rare at all. You go through a box, $100 box of Jefferson nickels, more than likely you're going to find a couple of them. They still made millions, tens of millions of these things. So they're not in the rare sense that you think it is. So rare means a lot of things to a bunch of different people, okay? To the purists and to the, I guess, the more experienced collectors out there, rare is just the way I had described it. It's a overused expression, overused word, terminology, whatever you want to call it, out in the marketplace. As kind of a little test here, let's go on eBay. And what I want to do is go into the coins and collectibles section of US coins, and just for kicks, I'm going to type in the word rare. Let's see how many. All right, so the search results came up with 5,505,937 times, or listings that the word rare was used in the description, which is crazy. All right, let me revise that, because that was on everything, because I saw a bottle of perfume. So in coins, it came up 121,807 times. So as you can see, it's crazy. Yeah, one of the listings that came up, 2019 W, American Memorial Park, Washington Quarter, in parentheses, rare. They made 2 million of them. That's not rare enough to be called rare. I mean, what's the safe bet when it comes to using a word to describe the scarcity of a coin? Well, scarce is a good word to use. Low mintage is another one. Of course, low mintage to some people, again, that's kind of like you're threading on the border of whether or not it's acceptable or not. Some would say like, oh, 10 million is low mintage, when to other people it's like, no, under 50,000 mintage is rare. So rare has been a hype word that's been used ever since the inception of eBay. People were suckered in, boy, the first few years of eBay's existence on a lot of things, not just coins, but baseball cards. They're like, oh yeah, this thing's serial number to 25. It's rare, and it's like 25 this day and age is nothing. It's pretty plentiful, and then you take into account all the parallels and colored variants of certain baseball cards, and the 10 different types of signed autograph cards. It's not as rare as it should be. Now, with enough research, you'll know exactly what's rare. Actually, this is pretty cool. Someone's selling a Johnson Matthey ultra rare 2.5 gram gold bar, quad 9 fine, original mint seal. That's pretty neat. Yeah, there's a sucker born every minute. I'm probably one of them. Believe me, I've gotten stung on a few fake rare coins out there. You know, back in my early days, it was much easier to get suckered in when there was no internet. So you know, it's like you ordered off a mail order catalog. You went to a coin dealer. The coin dealer even says, "Oh yeah, you know this coin is rare. The 1996 W Roosevelt dime is rare." I'm like, yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen a W mint mark on regular coins. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about that again. Buyer beware. Okay, it really depends on your buying motive. At the end of the day, are you a big time collector that likes to amass a bunch of things? If you're buying in bulk, keep in mind you want to try and talk down the price a little bit. Because if your intention is to somehow, some way make money and flip these items, it's going to be extremely difficult because you're dealing with so many more of something rather than dealing with one specific item. I've made so much more money selling singular graded coins than I ever have buying big estate lots. Okay, an estate sale, estate collection lots, keep in mind, that's an overused terminology as well. Okay, not only on eBay, but you know, on Craigslist, online advertisements, you name it. It's crazy. But anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. You know, just kind of a little mailbag action. I finally hired an assistant that's going to be starting today. So you're going to see some of the turnover in the emails. I keep catching up a little bit and I fall behind because I receive dozens of emails on the daily. So that's, you know, my apologies. Thank you for hanging in there with me. You know, feel free to share, subscribe. Would love to hear your comments. Tell me what you think on Mr. George's rare windfall. And that is all. So you guys take care. Have a fantastic Monday, and I'll see you on the next one.